for cleanup, it's the reverse of what we did. So we're going to back the plate off. Now I like to bring it all the way up. You want to leave a little bit of a gap at the top. That way the plate shaft will come out. Okay? Take the collars out. Release the lock. This now you turn it clockwise to release it. Okay, almost all the way in. Then we're going to take the plate out. It's hard to get out. What you have to do is turn the screw here to get it to line up, to get it out of the press. There, just like that. Bring it across. Again, do not let the gears go down into the analogs. You want to keep them out. Take the shaft out, bring your plate cylinder out. Move these out of the way. Now, blue rag under the pan, under the drain spout. Got a scraper. Either one of these two funnels will work just fine. Okay, I'll use the gray one for the video here. Take your ink, put the funnel into the ink, and then when we get ready, first thing we want to do is minimize how much we actually have to wipe things. Right now the doctor blade's metering the ink off. We're going to turn it clockwise to flood the analogs roller. Now when a couple extra turns on the doctor blade, maybe 2 or 3 half turns to move the blade away. Now we're going to take the rubber roller and squeeze the rubber roller just gently against the analogs. So now the rubber roller and the analogs are squeezing against one another. Okay? It's basically squeegeeing the ink off the analogs. Now we're ready to drain the ink out. We'll take our ink container with the funnel, jam it up under the drain there. Never let these two separate. Always make sure those stay together. And when you pull the plug, just wiggle it and just pull it up gently. Okay? The cutout on the plug, we're just going to hang on the edge of the pan here. Okay? And the goal is to not let the analogs roller dry for too long, so we want to scrape the ink out as fast as we can. I want to mention, when you pull the plug up, see all the ink dripping off of it? Don't pull the plug up and start picking it up over this. Just take it straight to the side and hook it down. Take the scraper and start scraping your ink out. It doesn't have to be perfectly spotless, because again, we do not want the analogs roller to run dry for too long. You just get kind of the majority of the ink out. Alright, hook your scraper on the side of the pan, bring the plug back, and plug it up. Alright, when you remove the funnel, just stuff the blue rag in there to keep the drips off. Now what we're going to do, take this without letting it drip over the pan, put that into the funnel. Now we're going to take a little bit of water, because that roll's been running dry. I want to put a little water on here. It's important that that plug is in that pan. Alright, so we use the water to kind of get started there. Now we're going to go to the cleaner. Okay. Sort of break that ink down with the cleaner a little bit. When you spray the cleaner, don't spray it into the bearings, all right? But you want to go from the center out. All right. Now we're going to go back to the water. And now I'm just going to let the water do the cleaning and gently squeezing the excess ink off the sides of the roll. I'll hit the edges a little bit. And when you spray the water, spray it kind of down into the analogs. You don't want it splattering up on the web. If you have paper in there and you splatter the ink or the water, it'll break the web, and then you have to re-web the press. Now we're going to take the cleaner, scrub the face of that anti-lock roller. Alright, once you've got it scrubbed, cleaner's corrosive, so we're going to go back to the water. Now we're just going to flush that roll nice and clean. And at this point, we're going to wait. We're going to watch it start to dry up a little bit. See how it's starting to dry up? Once it starts to dry up, we're going to take the rubber roller and back it away. And what you're going to do is take a blue cloth. Don't start at the end. You want to start in just a little from the roll. Just wipe the water off with the blue cloth. And this time we'll come all the way to the edge. We're going to clean the side of the roll off. Then we're going to clean the other side of the roll off. Okay. We're going to keep wiping till that's all gone. Okay. Now we're going to go to alcohol. Put a little alcohol on the cloth. Wipe the roll with alcohol. What this will do is it'll help any ink that's still in the cells that's wet. This will help just dry that out for us. And then we'll clean the sides of the anti-locks one more time with the alcohol. If any ink does show up on there, keep wiping until it's all gone. Okay, pretty good. Now we'll wipe the other side. Just do the edges. Alright, good and clean. Alright, the cleanup that we have gone through is exactly the list here. So everything that's here is what we've been doing in the video. So when you go do your cleanup, make sure you review this sheet and have the sheet handy when you do the cleanup. Okay? Alright, so now that the anti-locks is clean, that's the most important thing. Now we'll worry about everything else here. So we're going to take the pan out. Again, make sure you don't knock the plug or else all that's going to spill out. We're going to pull the swords out. And just let the pan sit down. Now we're going to pull the pan straight back. And bring it out. And we're going to go to the sink with it. For cleanup over here, take your drip cloth that was in the pan. Don't let it go in the drain. Throw it in the trash. And for cleanup, just take your spray hose, get your water on, check it on the side. Go ahead and spray it. Get your plug pulled out, plug cleaned off. And just get it all flushed down the drain. If there's any hard spots in the pan, got a little cleaning pad, a little water on it. Get the pan scrubbed down so it looks nice. And your fingerprints. Now, when you're done cleaning, clean up the sink area. If any splatter gets on the wall, clean the walls off. Basically make it look better than when you left here. Make sure your water's turned off. Just hook the sprayer back up. So now we're going to take the rubber roller out. We're going to back pressure off on the locking screws. We're going to take those out. These have to be all the way off in order for it to come out. Now to pull the doctor blade and the rubber roller have to come out at the same time. You cannot pull one without the other. So to take this, you got to make sure that these two stay together. Just kind of grab the rubber roller a little bit and slide it back parallel. When you get to the edge, then you just pivot the blade out of the way. Okay? This blade is extremely sharp. You don't want to touch it without gloves on your fingers or gloves on your hands. So we're going to set this over out of the way. Then we're going to take the rubber roller, bring it out. Again, it has to come out parallel. Bring it over. You see the ink on the sides that needs to get cleaned up. Okay? To clean this, we're going to go ahead and put the gloves on, the cut resistant gloves. Now this, if it's really has a lot of ink on it, you take a cloth with some water, a little bit of cleaner on it. Okay? And actually, what you'll do, first thing you'll do is clean the face of the roll. Okay? And then you'll clean the sides. Okay? And you do the same for the other side. Okay? Find the clean part of the cloth. One last wipe down on the roll. Then for the doctor blade, we're interested in the back side. We don't see any ink back there, so it actually cleaned up real well for us. But we still want to, with the glove on, wipe the back of the blade, and come around to the front, and wipe the front of the blade. Okay? Do not do this without the gloves on. You will cut your fingers very, very badly because that is a very sharp blade. And as you're cleaning up, always keep the blade at the back of the table. Alright? If you leave it out like this, somebody might inadvertently hit the blade and get cut themselves. So as you finish, keep the blades away and everything else cleaned up. Funnel and scraper all come over together. Just put them in the sink and get them rinsed out. Of course, the longer it sits, the harder it is to clean up, but once the water gets on a little bit, it will start to break down pretty fast. Okay. It's water-based, so it's alright to get on your hands. It'll rinse right off. Okay. It's important that the funnels get cleaned all the way out so that we don't contaminate another color when you're switching inks.